bones tumble down the chute into a deep intake hopper where a slow-moving apron conveyor starts pulling the mass inward. Larger bones pass over the grizzly and settle onto a wide rubber belt conveyor that carries them toward the first inspection point.
The pre-washed bones exit the drum onto a dewatering belt, where excess water drips into a stainless catch pan. The dewatered stream enters a steam blanching tunnel, and dense steam envelops the bones as the conveyor moves steadily forward. Processing. Dried bones exit onto a cooling conveyor where ambient filtered air reduces temperature before mechanical processing. The cooled bones pass into a vibratory screen deck that separates sizes, sending oversized pieces to a side chute.
Processing. Inside the conversion chamber, material progresses on a rotating path while heat drives off remaining organics and the surface turns pale and mineral-like.
Processing. Mineralized solids discharge into a sealed rotary cooler, and cooling air drops the temperature before the discharge gate opens.
Granules drop into a hammer mill, where rotating hammers reduce size, and a screen ring limits the maximum fraction. Processing. The hammer mill discharge passes through a cyclone separator that pulls fine dust into a sealed hopper, while heavier granules continue.
The milled slurry-like dry powder stream exits the ball mill and moves into an air classifier that splits fine and coarse fractions.
Processing. Oversized particles return through a recirculation line to the ball mill feed, tightening the grind consistency.
An inline particle size analyzer samples the powder stream, and the classifier speed adjusts automatically to hold target distribution.
Hydrated silica containers are staged beside the booth, and a loss-in-weight feeder is tiered to prepare controlled silica addition.
Processing. The deionized water loop stabilizes conductivity and recirculates through stainless piping to the compounding line feed point. deionized water meters into the mixer, and low-speed agitation begins, wetting the vessel bottom while load cells track mass.
Thickener powder is fed slowly through a screened port under extraction, so it hydrates evenly without forming dry clumps.
Processing. The hydration hold continues as mixer torque climb into the expected band, and the jacket loop modulates cooling water. Hydrated silica begins dosing from the loss-in-weight feeder into the vortex, dispersing as the paste thickens.
Processing, silica addition continues steadily, and the paste remains cohesive, with no visible dry islands near the surface.
The bone-derived mineral powder transfer hopper docks to the mixer inlet, and powder feeds through a metal trap into the circulating paste.
Processing. The premix is pumped through a sanitary line into the main mixer, and a static mixing section improves distribution. Processing. Inline pH probes monitor the batch as microdosing trims adjust pH into the specified range and then hold steady.
Surfactant is metered slowly through a dedicated manifold, while mixer shear reduces to limit foam formation.
An inline homogenizer loop starts, and the paste recirculates through a shear head to refine texture and eliminate microagglomerates.
Processing. A sanitary sampling valve fills sterile jars that are sealed, labeled, and transferred to QC for in-process release testing. The day tank runs gentle recirculation to maintain uniformity, and level sensors stabilize head pressure to the filling pumps. Processing. Nozzles retract, and a wipe ring removes residue from the tube mouth to keep sealing and capping surfaces clean. Processing. Filled tubes travel upright along guided conveyors, and spacing wheels maintain consistent pitch into the tail sealing station. Processing. Heated seal jaws flatten and weld the tube tail, while emboss wheels imprint lot and date codes into the sealed fin. A cooling section stabilizes the sealed tail to prevent curl, and the seam remains flat as it exits.
Barcode scanners verify label readability, and a reject gate diverts any mismatched or unreadable case into an inspection lane. Processing. Cleared cases feed the palletizer, where programmed patterns stack cases in interlocked layers on a wooden pallet.
Dock 1 is clear. Bring the next pallet forward.
Roger that. Moving now.
With packaging shipping underway, upstream mineral production continues as cooled mineral chunks feed the roller crusher without interruption.
Roller crusher discharge flows into the hammer mill, and the screen ring maintains a controlled top size for consistent ball mill feed. Processing. Powder transfer remains sealed and dry as blowers hold steady pressure and dust collectors maintain negative pressure at transfer points.
Crossing. Drum flips you. And look for you.
Processing. In compounding, the next batch begins as deionized water meters into the vacuum mixer and humectants pump in sequence. Processing. Thickener dispenses under extraction and hydrates into a gel, while jacket water holds temperature and torque stays within expected range.
Silica dosing starts from the loss-in-weight feeder, and the paste thickens uniformly under controlled mixing speed.
Premix solution transfers in, and pH trims stabilize the batch. Then surfactant addition begins slowly to minimize foam.
Vacuum deaeration pulls out trapped air, and the homogenizer loop refines texture until viscosity ratings match the recipe target. Processing. Day tank recirculation runs gently, and the filler pumps maintain constant dosing pressure to the nozzle manifold.
Processing. Tube orientation remains steady as blow-off removes dust, and vision inspection keeps defective tubes out of the filling turret.
Processing. Vision systems verify codes and alignment, then accepted tubes flow into cartoning, where blanks erect and inserts drop in.
Seal is 4529.
Got it. 4529 confirmed.
Processing. As the day tank level drops near batch end, pump speed reduces to avoid air intake while the filler completes final tubes. Line clearance removes leftover tubes and cartons from conveyors, and component counts reconcile to prevent mix-ups before cleaning. sterile compressed air blowdown dries internal surfaces, and the filler manifold vents through filters to prevent contamination. The vacuum mixer runs CIP using spray balls to wash walls, scrapers, and outlets before draining completely to leave surfaces clean. Processing, upstream receiving continues as another truck unloads bones into the intake hopper, maintaining steady feed to washing and cooking. Processing. Pre-wash sprays rinse and filtered water recirculates. Then dewatering belts reduce carryover water into the steam tunnel.
Steam blanching stabilizes surfaces. Then cooked solids discharge to the press, where moisture is removed consistently.
Dryer tunnels bring moisture down to target. Cooling belts stabilize temperature, and screens grade material for uniform thermal conversion feed.
Roller crushing and hammer milling reduce size, then ball milling produces fine powder that the classifier tightens to spec.
The mixer charges DI water and humectants, thickener hydrates, and silica disperses under controlled agitation and stable temperature.
Mineral powder addition disperses smoothly. pH trims stabilize. And surfactant addition remains slow to keep foam low.
Vacuum deaeration and homogenizer circulation refine the paste until viscosity and texture align with the batch specification.
Processing. QC clears the batch and paste transfers to the day tank, keeping the filler supplied with uniform material.
Processing. Palletizing stacks cases into stable layers, and stretch wrapping secures pallets for warehouse movement.
Production coordination keeps upstream milling and downstream packaging synchronized, so powder drums and paste batches remain continuously supplied.
Processing. Dust extraction remains active in crushing and milling rooms, while sealed pneumatic lines transfer powder without visible leakage.
Sorting staff maintain a steady removal rate and keep the belt surface clear so bones feed evenly into the wash drum.
Processing. Wash filtration cycles replace filter bags when pressure rises, keeping spray coverage consistent over the rotating bone bed. Processing. Steam tunnel exhaust maintains stable humidity draw, and condensate drains remain clear, preventing pooling near the conveyor. Processing. Cooker discharge cycles repeat into the press, and dryer control loops maintain target airflow and temperature for consistent dryness. Graded feed enters thermal conversion and exits cooled. Then crushers reduce it smoothly without clogging, as mills keep steady throughput. Processing. Compounding repeats hydration, dispersion, deaeration, and homogenization steps with the same valve sequence and controlled addition rates.
Processing down, paste transfer to the day tank remains smooth through screen lines, and the filler continues dosing without pressure spikes. So NT.
Filling, sealing, coating, and capping remain synchronized with cartoning, so tubes do not accumulate excessively or starve the cartoner.
Case packing matches cartoner output, and palletizer patterns maintain stack stability as pallets exit to wrapping.
Processing. Sanitation cycles run between batches without crossing raw bone routes, maintaining separation between receiving and clean packaging areas.
Processing. CIP records log flow, temperature, and conductivity endpoints, and the system returns to ready state with dry internal surfaces.
The powder booths are kept meticulously clean. The filters are pulsing now to restore airflow, preparing for the next dispensing session.
Processing. Receiving continues with steady unloading, so bones keep moving through washing and cooking without backlog at the dock.
Processing. Powder QC releases additional drums, and storage remains humidity controlled to prevent clumping before dispensing.
Processing. Compounding uses the released powder in sealed transfers, keeping the mixer addition clean and dust controlled.
Process controls keep feed rates aligned, so raw bones convert into mineral powder at a pace that supports scheduled paste batches.
Processing. Packaging throughput stays matched to filler output, preventing bottlenecks and ensuring cartons and cases flow directly to palletizing.
Warehouse scanners confirm pallet IDs, locations, and dispatch status as the final packaged toothpaste inventory updates in real time.
Load bar secure?
Yes, all set here.
Okay, I'll seal it up.